Good afternoon. I want to thank you for making some time to join us today. My name is Tim Means, and I am the Director of Product Management here at Metasecure. Joining me today is Joanne Pekich, and Joanne is our Marketing Director.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Today we're going to talk about 3 opportunities for our integrator partners to realize recurring revenue from emergency communications. We'll take about a half an hour of your time today, but if you're interested in a more detailed discussion, just call or email us and we can follow up. So with that, let's dive right in. First, let me give you a brief overview of our system, and then we'll talk about what types of services and recurring revenue opportunities our partners are building around it. Metasecure Solutions delivers software and hardware products that help end users communicate in an emergency and also helps tie together their facility systems to increase the speed and effectiveness of their emergency response. Our typical end users are colleges and universities, industrial and manufacturing facilities, government and other public sites, healthcare organizations, K through 12 schools, and commercial office buildings, among others.
So solutions range from combined software-hardware installations to a newer offering, a software-only application. So here's a quick visual overview you'll see on screen. The software is hosted either at an end-user site, at a third-party hosting organization, or at your central station. And Metasecure emergency help stations are installed at strategic indoor or outdoor locations at the end-user site. So each help station has a help button that lets a person in need speak directly to dispatchers. And the dispatcher can answer the call via software, on a mobile phone, or on a desk phone. And the help call location in all of those cases is identified automatically. So help stations are also multi-purpose. They broadcast emergency alerts with sirens and voice instructions, flashing lights, and text instructions on the built-in LCD screen. So what about end users who may not need the full hardware installation? We offer a software-only application, and the Metasecure Command Center software ties together and controls the communications equipment your end users already own. So in an emergency, for example, alerts instantly broadcast via IP phones, desktop pop-ups, PA speakers, digital signs, and any other communications equipment on site. And the software also integrates with the end user's email server to send out email alerts to predefined groups. Sometimes in this case, end users still want some way to make a duress call with the software-only system. So if that's the case, panic buttons easily tie in. Dispatchers don't get a live voice communication, but they do see the location of the duress call.
So now that you have some background about the system, let's talk about what our partners are doing to build recurring revenue opportunities. The first is monitoring the Metasecure system from a central station or a security operations center. Case in point, one of our integrator partners has installed Metasecure help stations at the customer's site and charges a monthly fee to monitor the system from their security operations 70 miles away. They respond to help calls, they can address any system interruptions or tampering, and even send alerts to the customer site in certain situations.
Now, providing emergency alerts as part of a monitoring agreement is pretty new as far as we know. Some end users, though, don't have a designated emergency manager on site at all times, so they feel more comfortable if their security operations center has this capability as well. So if you decide you want to provide emergency notification services through your central station, you need to work out how your dispatchers will be notified that an alert should be sent. For example, in some cases, the customer will call and just tell you, hey, we need you to send out a specific alert. In the case of some emergencies, of course, like weather alerts, the alert can be set to broadcast automatically based on National Weather Service data.
And Joe, we'll do a demo a little bit later on in the webinar to show what that central station dispatcher sees when they're operating the system. Typical customers for these types of services are end users who don't have a full-time security staff but need some level of protection. This includes sites that are open to the public but don't have security personnel. These organizations may not want a security guard, maybe budgetary reasons or even for the need to appear open and welcoming. But depending on the organization and location, they may absolutely need some sort of protection. Pricing for this type of service is typically based on a per endpoint per month fee. In some cases, you may be able to prorate the installation costs on a monthly basis over a certain contractual period of time.
And in that case, what that does, I'm certain you know, is it lowers the barrier to entry for these systems to go to a monthly fee. So that's a benefit.
Good point. A second services opportunity related to the Metasecure system is as an add-on for IP video and access control systems. What does that mean? One challenge with the IP video or electronic access monitoring is that you may not have a way to communicate with people on site when you see that something's wrong. With the Metasecure video or access add-on, you can immediately notify building occupants about an intruder, for example, and even make that intruder aware that they have been detected. There are, of course, a number of ways you can add these voice alarm and alert capabilities. With the Metasecure system, one cost-effective way is to integrate Metasecure emergency communication software with the customer's existing PA speakers or IP phone systems. Then, if you see or detect that something's wrong, you can instantly broadcast a specific alert throughout the site. For example, you might send an alert that an intruder has been detected, that the police have been notified, and that people should lock down until help arrives. This approach makes your response on site immediate. Potential customers for this service typically include sites where people are on the premises after hours. And we see a lot of this in research institutions, office buildings, even some schools. People tend to be working later and even more shifts. The pricing here is typically a monthly add-on to your existing video or access control contract. You can charge customers for the integration and then use the service as a way to make your video and access services stand out.
The third opportunity involves hosting the emergency communication system server. If you have a central station and already provide hosting services for systems like IP cameras, this is very similar. And if you don't have a central station that provides hosting services, we can work with you to set up a hosting arrangement through a third party, and then you charge your customer a monthly fee. You can provide this type of hosting service for any Metasecure system, for customers with installed help stations, and for customers who have the software-only system. And this is becoming more and more popular. Our partners are increasingly getting requests for this service, especially with customers where there are territorial issues between the security and IT departments. IT still needs to be involved once the project gets started because they have to open up a hole in the organization's firewall. But we've found that the head of security is often happier if he doesn't have to ask the IT department for server space. Pricing on this is either a monthly hosting fee if you're hosting it at a central station, or it's a margin on top of the third-party hosting fee. For all these options, we can provide any level of system, software, and database support. We partner with you during the installation and/or integration phase as well. If you have installers who are more comfortable with traditional security installations, we can set up and configure the entire system here at our headquarters and ship it to you ready to go.
Okay, Joanne, with that, we'd like to do a demo of the system and really focus on the head-end software, which is what the dispatcher at the operations center would see. So first, if you're providing a help call monitoring service for your customer, let's take a look at how that would work. We're going to switch to this is our demo software here in the room where Joanne and I are. And Joanne, if you would go down the hall and press the help button, we can take a call for help and monitor it as if we were a dispatch center. While Joanne's on her way, what we're going to see is when she presses the button on the help station, The building is going to light up blue to indicate that a help request has been activated, and we're getting a little prompt with an audible prompt telling us that a call for help is in and asking us to answer it.
Request for help.
Okay, so there's the prompt.
Request for help.
To answer, we would just click on the answer button. And to talk to Joanne, I'll click and hold. Joanne, this is Central Dispatch. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Tim. Just demoing the call for help feature.
Okay, I can see that you're in the science building on the second floor in the conference room. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. I'm going to hang up and we'll continue with our testing. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Okay, so to hang up at this point, we simply click on the hang up button and again click on the hang up button. As you can see on the map, the building where the call was activated is turned blue. And if I was to go over here into this call for help window and click on the last link in the location menu, it will take me to that specific location on the floor plan, and there I see the unit is blinking blue, so it's easy for me to identify. If I'm a central dispatch at a central station, this floor plan allows me to give the caller some information. I may be able to tell them that there's a stairway just around the corner from the help station, or if there was fire extinguishers or eye wash stations, things of that nature that have been on the floor plans, I can also direct them to use those resources in the building. As you can see, everything over here in the request for help window, everything is logged and timed. There's actually a recording of the conversation that can be played back at any time, either immediately or in future for historical review. I have the ability to send a pre-recorded response to that specific help station if I wanted to. I can also just click a button and end the call. When I'm all said and done, I am required to enter a little commentary in the comments log, and at that point I could move this call permanently into a log, and we can go back at any point in time and pull that window up and access that information.
Now, if your dispatch center, if your dispatchers would prefer to answer help calls in a different way, they don't have to use the software at all. They can, our system can connect help calls directly to their desk phones or to their mobile phones, and the location will be identified automatically.
Okay, so case number 2, let's say customer calls and wants you to push an alert out to their site from your central station. The quickest and easiest way to do that, there's really a number of ways to do it, but we have built these instant alert buttons, and these are pre-configured alerts that all the messaging has been scripted and pre-approved, all the locations have been specified, and so everyone that says when this is a high urgency situation, we want to be able to reduce the time it takes to queue that message up and get it out. So these are basically a click and a confirmation, and then that message will go to wherever it has been preordained to go. In this case, let's say there was a chemical spill and they wanted to get a message in to evacuate the building. A single click on my instant alert gives me a confirmation screen. You know, are you sure you want to send out the chemical spill alert? It gives me some information about the locations and groups, and when I'm ready, I say yes, and the alert will go off immediately.
Attention, attention. A hazardous material release has occurred in this area. Evacuate this building immediately. Do not walk into or touch spilled material. Evacuate this building immediately.
Okay, so I can cancel that alert with a single click, and you saw some information about the alert, the duration, how many times it will repeat, the text that will be displayed. So it's a very effective way to push an announcement into the site from the central station location. Another monitoring aspect or service is that you're monitoring the system, and perhaps someone tampers with one of the devices, or even in the case of even a power outage or a low battery, we we flag those types of events and pop up some information on the screen, get your attention to do that. So in this case, Joanne's going to reach back and she's going to trigger the case on the help station here.
A case tamper switch has been activated. A case tamper switch has been activated.
So you can see I've got a pop-up.
A case tamper switch has been activated.
And by intention, that's a very annoying message to get my attention. It showed me, I clicked on it to get rid of it, but it showed me the location of that device and what the fault detection was. Similarly, an email or text message could go out, triggered by that event, go out to facility folks or security people, depending on what the event is, whoever is it's relevant to send that information to, and that's all automated through the system.
And system status events typically appear both on screen and also via audio prompt, because we know that your dispatchers aren't, sitting there 24/7 staring at this one screen. We know they've got a lot of priorities. So we want to make sure that there's an audio prompt there as well, so they know if something isn't right.
Okay, and then finally, if we're talking about integration with a video surveillance system, cameras that may be positioned to look into the same space that a help station exists in. This allows us to be able to, when someone presses a button, pop up a view of that same space. So not only are we talking to them live, we're seeing them or we're seeing into that space. It's a very effective way to understand what the nature of the emergency or situation is, and to respond or dispatch the appropriate response. Again, that's all of those things are available from the monitoring position of a central dispatch station.
And just so you know, this is a demonstration of a video feed that's coming into and displaying in our head-end software, but a call for help and the video feed can also be packaged, and it can appear in your video management system. It's very flexible, so that's just, based on a case-by-case basis, however you want it to work.
Well, Joanne, that's about it for today. Once again, we appreciate you making some time to join us to learn a little bit more about the MetaSecure system and how you can use this system to create some recurring revenue opportunities. Hope that was informative. As we mentioned, anytime you have more in-depth questions than we've addressed today, just give us a call or drop us an email. And thanks for joining us, and have a great day.